Hi, Mark here. Thursday, May the 28th, 7:54 a.m. Eastern, 11:54 a.m. GMT. US session about to get underway. Let's have a look at the markets this morning. Starting the US dollar index, interesting setup we have here. Started strong during the Asian into the European session, but as you can see, the wick at the top of this candlestick has given up those gains and resistance at 99.48, double top over here, and support at 99.22, and that support being tested right now. Bear in mind, in 30 minutes, we have some inflation data coming out of the US, PCE, GDP numbers. Anything below consensus or weak numbers could well see a test or break of this support level and maybe a turnaround from strong to weak US dollar. If we get positive numbers and a continuation of the uptrend and strong US, buyers will look back up at this resistance level. Let's have a look at S&P. Futures market for now, a good hour and a half till Wall Street opens up. And there you can see the very tight range the index has been sitting at this whole week. I've got support at 7,505, that's 7,500, tough support level. I've got resistance at 7,545. So we'll see once the US session gets started and more relevant once Wall Street opens up, whether the uptrend does continue, demand for US equities, or if we get a turnaround, perhaps some profit taking, overbought technicals at this point, and sellers take over and test the 7,500 level. Gold. Strong sell-off continuing with gold started 3 days ago. There's the double top, strong bearish signal has certainly played out the last 3 days into today. I've got support at 4,371 and I have resistance at 4,456. If I zoom out that little bit, you can see this is a strong support level. We'll see if sellers can maintain below the 4,400 and perhaps even push lower. We'll see how the US dollar performs during the US session. Remember, weak US dollar, strong gold, strong US dollar, weak gold. That's what we have seen. But now with the US dollar looking like it could be giving up gains, perhaps a bounce up here and off the support area, and we see some demand for gold. But certainly the downtrend still intact going into the US session. Let's have a look at Brent oil. There we see the tight range continuing. Oil sitting in this for the past few days. An optimistic oil market based on a deal being reached, done, concluded with US Iran. At this point, Iran hasn't accepted the US proposal. Some military skirmishes, as well as the straits, for all practical purposes, remaining closed. And yet, we still see prices hanging around this 94 area. We'll see how much longer that does continue. We'll see whether any added good news sees prices below this and sellers push below the support level down to the 90 level. Alternatively, if we go from optimistic to pessimistic, it certainly won't take long for buyers to break above this area and look back above the 100 mark. But for now, optimism prevails and sitting around that 94 level for now. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. And the downtrend very strong and continuing. I've got support at 72.5 thousand. I've got resistance at 74.4, roughly a $2,000 range. Downtrend continuing for the third day. We've had the strong sell-off. There's a bearish engulfing candle certainly playing out. There has been a bounce today so far off this support area. We'll see if buyers can continue with this bounce and look up at the resistance and get above the 74, 75 and look up at this 78,000 on the upside, or if we get a continuation of sellers controlling and getting back to the 72.5 support and pushing lower. Good trading. Keep that discipline. I'll see you at the end of day.